The most complex disease of aging, Alzheimer's disease. Good day, everyone. Today I want to talk about one of the most complex diseases associated with aging, called Alzheimer's disease. And I want you to listen carefully because this is not just a medical lecture. This is health advice that may help you protect your brain as you age. Now let me start with a question. Have you ever seen an elderly person who forgets names, forgets directions, or even forgets family members? Sometimes people say, oh, it's just old age. But medically, it may be something deeper. It may be Alzheimer's disease. Let me repeat something very important. Alzheimer's disease is not just memory loss. It is progressive degeneration of brain cells that gradually destroys memory, reasoning, and personality. I'll say that again slowly. Alzheimer's disease is progressive degeneration of brain cells that gradually destroys memory, reasoning, and personality. What does that mean? It means the brain cells are gradually dying. And when neurons die, the brain cannot process information properly. Now, scientifically, two abnormal structures develop in the brain. First, amyloid plaques. Second, tau tangles. Let me explain simply. Amyloid plaques are sticky protein deposits that accumulate between brain cells. Tau tangles are twisted fibers inside neurons that disrupt the internal transport system of the cell. When these two problems occur together, communication between neurons becomes damaged. And slowly, the brain begins to shrink. Now let me ask you another question. What are the early warning signs people should never ignore? Early signs include frequent memory loss, difficulty finding the right words, misplacing objects repeatedly, confusion about time or place, difficulty making decisions, personality or mood changes. For example, someone may suddenly become withdrawn, suspicious, or unusually irritable. Many families ignore these early signs, but early recognition is very important. Now let us talk briefly about laboratory investigations and diagnostic tools, because diagnosis is not based on guesswork. Several tests can help evaluate Alzheimer's disease. One important investigation is brain imaging, such as magnetic resonance imaging. MRI helps doctors detect brain shrinkage, especially in the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory. Another imaging method is positron emission tomography, which can show abnormal protein accumulation in the brain. From the laboratory perspective, scientists may analyze cerebrospinal fluid obtained through lumbar puncture. This test measures beta-amyloid protein, tau protein. Abnormal levels of these markers can support the diagnosis. Cognitive assessments are also very important. Doctors may use tests like the mini-mental state examination to evaluate memory, attention, and orientation. Now here is an important piece of advice. Let me repeat this carefully. What protects the brain in youth often protects the brain in old age. I will say that again. What protects the brain in youth often protects the brain in old age. So what should people do? Here are some preventive lifestyle strategies. Maintain regular physical activity. Exercise improves blood flow to the brain. Eat balanced diets rich in fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats. Control medical conditions such as hypertension and type 2 diabetes. Engage in mental stimulation. Reading, learning, solving puzzles, and intellectual discussions keep the brain active. And very importantly, maintain social interaction. Isolation accelerates cognitive decline. Now before I conclude, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever noticed memory decline in an elderly family member? And if you did you seek medical evaluation early? You can share your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you want deeper explanations about medical labora,